Karina, baby, good morning. Today is April the 7th. Let's see. Or April. Today is August the 7th. Let's see what story is for today. You are 5 years, 3 months, and 27 days old today. And the story for today is Playtime. Playtime. Puss says, "Mouse, mouse, come out of your house. We could have some fun. I'll chase you around and around the chairs, down the hall and up the stairs, to see how fast you run. Mouse, mouse, what do you say? Will you come out and play today?" And Mouse says, "No." Oh, the mouse didn't want to play with the kitty cat. Let's see what our next storybook is in a treasury of fairy tales. It is Ricky Tuftyhead. Once upon a time, there was a queen who gave birth to a son, so not handsome that it seemed doubtful whether he was human. A fairy who was present at his birth declared that everyone would like him because he was to be very intelligent. So added that by virtue of the gift she was going to give him, he could give as much intelligence as he had to the person he loves most. All the council, the poor queen, and queen a little, and no sooner had the child started to talk, then he said 1,000 nice words. In everything he did there was something very witty, which people thought very charming. I forget to say that he has came into the world with a little tuft of hair on his head, which led to the nickname Ricky Tuftyhead. 6 or 7 years later, the queen of the neighboring kingdom gave birth to 2 girls. The first girl was the most beautiful than the day, and the queen was delighted. However, the same fairy who had attended the birth of little Ricky Tuftyhead was present, and to bringing her down to earth, she declared that this little princess might be beautiful, but she would have no intelligence whatsoever. This news upset the queen badly, but a few moments later, she was even more shocked, for the second child she gave birth to was not as pretty, and the first was so beautiful. "Do not worry, madam," said the fairy. "Your daughter will be so intelligent that her lack of beauty will almost remain unnoticed." "So be it," answered the queen. "But is it not possible to give my elder daughter even a little intelligence?" "I cannot do anything for her as far as intelligence is concerned," says the fairy, "but I will give her the power to make anyone beautiful whom she wishes." Oh, so she can make her sister beautiful by wishing her beautiful. Now, beauty, though, comes from within the heart. The face, the body, that is a certain type of beauty, but really, what makes you beautiful is your soul and your heart. Your heart makes you beautiful. As those 2 princesses grew up, their qualities grew with them, and everywhere in the land the people talked about the incredible beauty of the elder princess and the astonishing intelligence of the younger. It is almost true that their faults progressed with their age. The younger princess became visibly not so pretty, and the elder became more non-intelligent from day to day. Furthermore, she was so clumsy that she could not arrange china arrangements, on the mantelpiece without breaking one. Neither could she drink a glass of water without spilling half of it. Although good looks may be of great advantage to a young person, the younger girl almost always had the better of the elder sister in any company. People always admired her, but they were always more interested in what the intelligent princess had to say. Although the elder princess was quite non-intelligent, she noticed this was often very lonely. She noticed this and was often very lonely. Indeed, she would have given all her beauty without a moment's hesitation in order to have even half the intelligence of her sister. The queen, although she knew it was not fair, could not help reproaching her elder daughter for her not-so-smartness, which made the poor princess so unhappy she almost wished she were not alive. One day, when she had run into the woods to cry over her misfortune by herself, she saw a little man coming towards her. He was very not so handsome and unattractive, but magnificently dressed. Of course, it was the young prince, Ricky Tuftyhead. He had fallen in love with the princess from her portraits that were spread throughout the world, and had left his father's kingdom so that he could see her and talk to her. Look at that poor princess crying. Oh, look at it. He has a brooch with her image on it. Delighted to meet her all alone, he approached her with all due respect and all the politeness imaginable. After he had paid her the conventional compliment, he noticed that she was extremely unhappy. "I do not understand how a princess as lovely as you can be sad as you appear to be," he said. "I have seen countless numbers of lovely girls in my life, but I can tell you truthfully that I have never seen in all my travels one whose beauty compares to yours." "It is very kind of you to say so, sir," replied the princess. Ricky Tuftyhead continued, "Beauty brings so many advantages that it is the most important gift of all, and if one has given it, I do not see that there is anything to cry about. I would rather be as not so pretty as you are, and be intelligent," said the princess, "than to have my beauty and yet be as not smart as I am." "I cannot believe that you are not smart," said Ricky. "Indeed, often clever people don't believe that they have any intelligence at all. I think it is the nature of that gift, that the most intelligent the person is, the more he thinks he is not." "I don't know about that," said the princess, "but I do know that I am extremely not smart, and that is why I am so miserable that I could die." "If that is the only reason for your misery, I could easily put an end to your unhappiness," declared Ricky. "As how would you do that?" asked the princess. "I have the power to give intelligence to the person whom I love," he replied. "And as you are this person, I see no reason why you should not have so much intelligence as it is possible to have, providing that you will marry me." The princess was completely dumbfounded and could not think what to say. "I can understand," continued Ricky Tuftyhead, "why my proposal has confused you, and I am not surprised. So listen, I give you the whole year to think about it." The princess had so little intelligence, but at the same time she desired it so much, and as the end of the year was far away, she accepted the prince's proposal. She had no sooner promised Ricky Tuftyhead that she would marry him on that same day and following year than she felt completely different. Suddenly she found she could say everything she wanted in a subtle, effortless, and utterly natural manner. At once she started to have a grown-up and entertaining conversation with Ricky Tuftyhead, in which she shone so brilliantly that he wondered if he had given her more intelligence than he had kept for himself. When she returned to the palace, no one knew what to think of a sudden and extraordinary. Look at this. Change. She talked as much sense now as she had talked nonsense before, and everything that she said was extremely sensible and very witty. The whole court was more delighted than you could imagine. Only her younger sister was not happy with the change, because she no longer had the advantage of intelligence over her beautiful elder sister. She merely seemed dreadfully not so pretty. The king asked his advisers for guidance about how to deal with this new state of affairs and held council meetings in his apartments, but all in vain. The news of the transformation had spread abroad. All the young princes of neighboring kingdoms tried their best to win her hearts of beautiful and intelligent princesses, and almost all of them asked for her hand in marriage. In her return, she did not find any of them intelligent enough. So she listened to them all without becoming attracted to any one of the hopeful suitors. However, one day there came a prince who was so powerfully rich, intelligent, and handsome that she could not help feeling attracted to him. When her father became aware of this, he told her that she was quite free to choose her husband without interference from him or his ministers, and that she only had to make up her mind. The more intelligent one is, however, the more difficult it becomes. The more intelligent one is, however, the more difficult it becomes to make a firm decision on such an important matter. After thanking her father for allowing her freedom of choice, she asked for some time to think it over. It so happened that she went for a walk in the same forest where she had met Ricky Tuftyhead. She meant to consider in peace and quiet what she was to decide. Get the poor princess that she thinks that she's not so beautiful, but she is beautiful. Look at her. She has her hair and her eyes and her heart and her mind. And, she has everything. She's fine. Nothing wrong with her. There she is. She's all by herself, trying to mull over who she would like to marry, even though she already made a promise, right? While she was walking there, deep in thoughts, she heard muffled noises under her feet, as if several people were coming and going and rushing around. After listening more carefully, she heard them say, "Bring me that pot. Give me that copper pan. Put some wood on this fire." At the same time, the ground opened up before her, and she saw that her feet, a huge kitchen, full of cooks, kitchen boys, and all kinds of people preparing a magnificent banquet. A group of about 20 or 30 cooks left the crowded kitchen and went to the tree-lined path, where they settled around the long table and started working to the rhythm of a song. The princess, amazed by the spectacle, asked them for whom they worked. "Madam," replied one of the group, "we work for the Prince Ricky Tuftyhead, whose wedding takes place tomorrow." The princess was even more surprised at that, because she suddenly remembered that very day, a year ago, she had promised to marry Ricky Tuftyhead, and she nearly fainted on the spot. She had not remembered this promise because when she made it, she was still a fool. But after Ricky Tuftyhead gave her intelligence, she had completely forgotten all her rash promises. She had not taken 30 steps further when Ricky himself bowed before her, elegant, magnificent, and like a prince, who was to be married. "Madam," he said, "I have kept my word, and I have no doubt you come to keep yours, to make me the happiest man in the world by giving me your hand in marriage." Well, thank God she wasn't married yet, right? "I honestly confess," replied the princess, "that I have not yet come to a decision on that matter, and I doubt if I will ever be able to decide in the way that you wish." "You surprise me," Ricky said. "I believe you," she answered, "and truly, if I have to deal with an unreasonable and not so smart man, I would be very embarrassed. He would say that the word of the princess, was her word of honor, and that I should marry him because I have promised it. But since you are the most intelligent man in the world, I am sure you will understand. You remember that even when I was a fool, I could not decide to marry you right away. The intelligence you gave me then has made me even more careful. So how can you expect me to make a decision today, which I could not make then? If it is true that a man without intelligence would have the right to reproach you for breaking your promise, why then won't you permit me to do the same? Replied Rikki Tuftyhead. It is fair that people with intelligence are worse off than those with none. How can you agree with this, you who has so much, and who so greatly wished to have it? There she is, trying to back out of her promise. But let us get to the point, please. Apart from my not-so-handsomeness, is there something else about me that displeases you? Are you unhappy with my birth and prestige, my intelligence, my character, or my manners? Nothing at all, answered the princess. I like everything about you. If that is true, continued Rikki Tuftyhead, you can make me the most handsome man in all the world. How can that be done? Asked the princess. It will be done, answered Rikki, if you love me enough to wish it to happen. I know that at your birth the same fairy who gave me the power to give intelligence to the person I love also gave you the power to make the one you love become beautiful. If that is the case, said the princess, I wish with all my heart that you become the most handsome prince in all the world, the whole wide world. I give you as much of this gift as I can. No sooner had the princess pronounced these words than Rikki Tuftyhead appeared in her eyes to be the most handsome, the finest and most magnificent man she had ever seen. Some people claim that the fairy spells had nothing to do with this, and that true love was the only reason for this change. They say that the princess marveled at her love's proficiency, on his discretion, and on all the good qualities of his soul and his mind, and therefore no longer saw his deformed body nor his ugly face. They say that his hunchback seemed to her no more than the easy, cheerful manner of a man who slung his shoulders, and that they were before she saw his awkward limp. It now appeared to her she's giving him beauty, outward beauty. But he has all the inward beauty, though. He is intelligent. He's nice. He's good. Appeared to her as if he was just leaning in a rather charming manner. They also say that his squinting eyes only seemed the more amazing to her, that their crookedness appeared to her to be a sign of the intensity of his love for her, and that his big red nose seemed to her manly and heroic. Whatever the truth of this matter, the princess promised to marry him on the spot, provided he obtained the consent of her father, the king. The king knew that his daughter had a lot of respect for Rikki Tuftyhead, and having heard from reasonable sources that he was very intelligent and sensible prince, he gladly accepted him as his son-in-law. The wedding took place the next day as Rikki had predicted, and according to the orders he had given that long year ago. There you have it. Alright, Karina baby, Mama loves you, you know that? I love you with all my heart, all my soul, all my mind. I love you. And I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. And I have a feeling that the day that I get to see you is coming up soon. It's not going to be forever. This can't be forever. Nothing lasts forever. Everything's just a realm and a time change, right? So we have to be patient, and we have to be waiting and be patient with that waiting and be okay with it. So Mama's trying to be patient, and I'm just waiting for the day that I do get to see you, and I do get to hold you, and I do get to take you places, and you do get to be here, and you do get to play with the kids, and you do get to play games, and you do get to watch movies with them, and you do get to play outside with them. You will have so much fun on the farm. You'll get to see the cow. Mama will help you do anything you want to do. I don't care what you want to do. I'll do it with you. If you want to go to the movies in the park when they open back up, you want to go anywhere, do anything, you know I'll take you. We'll do school in the mornings again. We'll do story times at night. I know we have a lot of catch up to do. I love you, baby. Alright. Mama loves you. How about Lila Tove and good night to you. Lila Tove, may your dreams come true. We sing Lila Tove, may Israel protect you throughout the night until we reach the morning light. I love you, my angel.